Demi Lovato returns to social media for the first time since leaving rehab after her apparent overdose. For the latest on the singer, Entertainment Tonight's producer Brendan joins us. Brendan, what was Demi's message to her Instagram followers today?
Yeah, guys, she wrote, her caption was, "I am so grateful to be home in time to vote. One vote can make a difference, so make sure your voice is heard. Now go out and vote." So she, along with many other celebrities, is encouraging everyone out there to get out and vote. It is a very important time, very important day.
Yeah, Brendan, I thought this was kind of an interesting post to kind of, I don't want to say reintroduce yourself because it's not as dramatic as that, but, you know, she's kind of stepped away from social media for a minute, and then here's a perfectly acceptable time and a perfectly acceptable way to come back out and say, hey, guys, I'm out in the world and I'm doing my thing.
I kind of wonder if it's something where she knows that today is such an important day that she didn't really want to take away from that. Obviously, her story is very important. Obviously, so many of us want to hear her story and hear, you know, she's been very vocal in the past about being sober, partying, all of that. So I think maybe she's waiting for that right time. She's waiting for that right platform. And maybe today she just felt like, you know, today's about people getting out and voting, so she's going to put her message out there. But I think that we will hear from her soon when it comes to the topic of her sobriety and that apparent overdose that recently happened back in July.
Well, when I... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, when I saw this photo, I literally lit up because this situation could have went a whole nother way, you know, so to see Demi out and about, I loved it. And, you know, she was out over the weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Brendan?
Right. So we know on Friday night she attended Halloween Horror Nights with her friend Henry. We are told they are just friends. That's important to note. They also had dinner in Beverly Hills on Saturday night. We had paparazzi photos of them leaving the restaurant there, the sushi restaurant they went to. When we spoke to eyewitnesses who saw them on Friday night at Halloween Horror Nights, they said she looked healthy, she was in really good spirits, and she was very focused on getting to the attractions. And apparently folks at the park, at Universal, didn't really bother her. They didn't approach her, and they just kind of let her be, which is obviously good. Her and Henry, again, just friends, hanging out, having a good time. We've learned overnight today that Henry's also sober. They met in rehab about 3 years ago, and they're just kind of helping each other through this time. Demi kind of bouncing back from that apparent overdose in July.
That's, you know what, I'm happy to hear you say that because that's the exact kind of person that she needs to be hanging out with. Just to give it a little bit of context for anybody who doesn't know, Halloween Horror Nights is a huge event here in Los Angeles where one of our big theme parks goes all Halloween, lots and lots of people in masks and costumes, and so even for someone as famous as Demi Lovato, you can kind of skate by unnoticed there, and so I think that was a perfect
But I'm pretty sure she was noticed, but I think people gave her that respect. Like, you know, she just got out of rehab, let her just enjoy herself. So that says a lot about her fans as well.
Right. I mean, she for sure was noticed. The two people we spoke to said she walked right through the front entrance of the park. You guys know, I'm sure you've both been to Universal. I mean, when you walk through those gates, everyone's going to see you. But it is interesting that no, like, paparazzi photo or no one took any cell phone photos of her. But we know that she walked right through those main gates. And like I said, our eyewitnesses tell us she looked really good, really healthy, and looked like she was having a really good time with Henry.
Besides being down to get scared and that he's sober, what else do we know about Henry?
So we know he's a fashion designer. Again, like I said, we know they met about 3 years ago in rehab. They became close friends immediately in rehab. He takes his sober life very seriously, just like we're told Demi is taking hers now. Henry is exactly the friend that Demi needs right now. That's what one of our sources told us. We know that in the last few days, they've been spending a lot of time at Demi's home somewhere in the LA area. We're assuming it must be a new home. As you guys know, we've talked about this here on the show before. She recently listed the home where the apparent overdose happened in July. She put it on the market about, I think, a month ago for $8.9 million. So we assume they're hanging out. She must have found another home. We know they've been spending time very low-key at her place when they're not out and about being spotted by the paps.
I love that. I'm so happy she's doing well, and I hope she continues to thrive and just continues to bless us with her voice and her talents. All right, thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, guys.